Welcome to Private 1977 channel. Subscribe to the channel. And don't miss the hottest news of the day. Our news today includes the following content. The entertainment world loves its surprises. Red carpets shimmer, ratings rise and fall, and rumors flicker like flashbulbs in the dark. Yet, on one recent evening, none of those glittering details mattered. What seized the public's breath was not a box office milestone or a couture gown, it was a confession. Wu Lei, the golden boy of Chinese cinema, a name synonymous with clean-cut youth and effortless grace, stood before a sea of cameras, and said Zhao Lusi's name. The moment landed like thunder. A confession heard across the internet. It happened not on a film set or a late-night show, but at a brand gala, an event meant for smiles, sound bites, and champagne. The host, in a playful tone, asked the star a harmless question: if you could choose one person to work with, and to spend the most private time with, who would it be? For a second, Wu Lei hesitated. Cameras zoomed in, the lights caught the stillness in his face. And then he said it, softly, clearly, Zhao Lusi. 2 seconds of silence. Then, chaos. The audience burst into applause, the host laughed awkwardly, and social media, within minutes, was on fire. Hashtags like #WuLeiConfession, #WuLeiZhaolusi, #IsItReal shot up the trending lists like rockets. In less than 10 minutes, millions were asking the same question: did he just admit it? Then came the line that turned a passing remark into a public declaration. Wu Lei, smiling shyly, added, "Actually, I've always admired her, not just because of our chemistry on screen. If lightning could speak, it would have sounded like that. The glimmer between them." To the untrained eye, Wu Lei and Zhao Lusi are simply co-stars. But to those who've watched them, really watched them, something deeper has always shimmered beneath the surface. From the starry love of Han Xian Sanwan to Hung Haimu, their partnership felt charged with unspoken emotion. Their eyes would meet just a second too long, their laughter a shade too genuine. On screen, they were perfection; off screen, they were an unresolved story the audience longed to finish. Fans noticed everything: the subtle smiles, the comfortable teasing, the quiet ways they stood closer than needed. It became a kind of collective obsession. Memes, edits, fanfiction, and endless debates flourished online. Why aren't they together? Became less a question, more a plea. And on that fateful night, Wu Lei tore open the paper-thin wall between fantasy and reality. Zhao Lusi's 3 words. Hours later, Zhao Lusi finally moved. She didn't issue a statement. She didn't appear in public. Instead, she posted a selfie, radiant, understated, enigmatic, with just 3 words. What a coincidence. No emojis. No context. It was the kind of simplicity that drives a nation mad. Fans parsed the phrase like detectives on a case. Was it a gentle acknowledgement? A teasing response? Or a quiet declaration of shared feeling? What a coincidence. Was she saying that her heart, too, had arrived at the same place? The internet spiraled into poetic delirium. "This is it," someone wrote. She's replying to him. Others worried. She's playing it safe. She can't risk too much. Her silence, elegant and deliberate, was louder than any confirmation. Behind the curtain, a quiet understanding. Insiders, meanwhile, whispered about what many already suspected. During filming, Wu Lei and Zhao Lusi were known for their easy camaraderie. They often improvised scenes together, understanding each other's timing with an intimacy that can't be taught. When cameras weren't rolling, Wu Lei would linger near the set, helping her run lines. Crew members recalled how his eyes followed her, not with lust or celebrity detachment, but with a kind of quiet, youthful awe. Like a boy meeting his first love, one staffer said. Maybe that's what this was, not marketing, not manipulation, but something rare, sincerity. Between sincerity and strategy. Yet, sincerity is expensive in the entertainment world. For every fan cheering on their chemistry, another fears what it might cost. If they date, his endorsements might drop. Her fan base will split. The studio won't allow it before the new drama. Such are the unspoken rules of stardom, where love is risk, and affection must be calculated like a contract. Skeptics, ever ready, dismissed the moment as a perfectly timed publicity stunt ahead of their next project. Others pointed to Wu Lei's wholesome image, built over years of discipline, as proof that he wouldn't gamble his reputation for clickbait. Who's right? Maybe both. Maybe neither. Because in the world where reality and storytelling intertwine, truth and performance often share the same face. The fan divide. Fans are not a monolith. They are galaxies, each with its own gravity. There are the CP fans, who live for romance. They dissect every glance, every joint appearance, building dreamscapes out of fleeting gestures. For them, Wu Lei's confession was a love story years in the making, sweet, cinematic, and destined. Then there are the career loyalists, pragmatic, protective. They see love as a threat, fearing it might derail success, tarnish commercial value, or shift public sympathy. And finally, there are the rational bystanders, those who watch from afar, curious but cautious, aware of how cruel the spotlight can be. In the age of social media, these worlds collide. Edits of the pair flooded Douyin and Weibo, hashtags turned into digital battlegrounds. Some launched support campaigns, flooding timelines with fan art and romantic soundtracks. Others withdrew into defensive silence, fearing backlash or overexposure. The emotional volatility of fandom became its own spectacle, a reflection of how deeply people invest in the love lives of strangers they'll never meet. The business of feelings. Modern entertainment runs on emotional currency. Every confession, denial, or glance has market value. For stars like Wu Lei and Zhao Lusi, love isn't just a personal affair, it's a strategic variable. A public relationship can double publicity but have endorsements. A private one can protect intimacy but invite endless speculation. If they choose to go public, they must face the scrutiny of brands, the pressure of headlines, and the unpredictability of fan emotions. If they keep it private, they retain creative freedom but risk betrayal by leaks or rumors. And if, as some cynics suggest, it's all a publicity maneuver, then the price is authenticity itself. Once trust is questioned, no amount of charm can restore it. Their teams must now walk the razor's edge, defining boundaries, shaping narratives, and managing chaos without extinguishing the spark that made people care in the first place. A modern love story, or a mirror of ourselves. What's fascinating is not just the confession itself, but our collective reaction to it. Why are we so obsessed? Why does the thought of two stars, young, talented, radiant, falling in love make millions of strangers feel personally involved? Perhaps because Wu Lei and Zhao Lusi's story is a projection of our own longings, the thrill of an unspoken connection, the courage to confess, the fear of rejection, the tension between privacy and exposure. Their story reminds us that even in the hyper-curated world of fame, emotion still finds a way to break through. The price of being seen. In an age where every smile can be slowed down and analyzed frame by frame, sincerity itself becomes a luxury. Wu Lei's simple words, "I've always admired her," became a national headline. Zhao Lusi's quiet "what a coincidence" became a riddle. And somewhere between admiration and ambiguity, a tender truth hides: the more we look, the less we truly see. The public's gaze is both a blessing and a curse. It creates stars, but it consumes their humanity. Fans demand authenticity, yet punish it when it appears. The industry sells intimacy, yet forbids it from being real. Perhaps that is the paradox of modern stardom: to live publicly, yet love privately. Epilogue, a story without an ending. Maybe Wu Lei's confession is not the climax, but the beginning of a different kind of story, one where bravery meets vulnerability, and where the audience must learn to watch with compassion instead of possession. Whether they become a couple, remain friends, or retreat behind silence, one thing is certain: their names will forever be linked by that single, luminous moment. Because when Wu Lei spoke, he didn't just reveal affection, he reminded everyone watching that beneath the fame, the filters, and the algorithms, love, awkward, inconvenient, unstrategic love, still exists. So perhaps the real question isn't are they together, but can we, as a culture, allow them to be human? And in that sense, Wu Lei's confession may be more than gossip. It may be a mirror, reflecting not just two people in the spotlight, but all of us, yearning for connection in a world that rarely lets it stay private. Thank you for reading this exploration of the moment that blurred the line between real and real. Whether you believe in their love or not, one truth remains: sincerity, in any form, is still the most captivating story of all. What do you think about this? This concludes our new section. Welcome to leave your thoughts in the comments area. Let's discuss it together. Welcome. Don't forget to give me a like and follow. Thank for all.